Hi, this is Mike from the Substream, and this week we thought we'd pay homage to one of our favorite filmmakers of all time, Sam Raimi. Now, Ryo, who's holding the camera, talks a little bit about his career in the very important Dudes and Dudettes in Film History show that went up this week. But seeing as the man, Raimi, is making his long-awaited, much-anticipated return to the horror genre this week with Drag Me to Hell, we thought that here in the Film Lab, we'd teach you how to do a couple of his trademark shots. Now, why do we love this dude so much? Well, basically because he's one of the guys that's proven that all you need to do to make a great movie is have energy, creativity, and patience. Sure, the enormous budgets for stunts and CGI that he used to make the 3 Spider-Man films show that you kind of need that stuff to make some of the biggest grossing blockbuster movies of all time. But when you watch the Evil Dead series, you get to see a filmmaker who's making films that are kinetic, frenetic, creepy, and full of energy with not much more than physical effects, makeup, and a willingness to move the camera in creative ways. Now, one of Raimi's trademark shots is these long traveling shots where the camera takes the point of view of an evil force that flies through the woods chasing after the main character Ash, down a road, through a marsh, splitting open trees, busting down doors, through a cabin, and on and on and on. The Coen brothers, with whom Raimi was friends, famously paid homage to him and his penchant for using these shots when they made their own really neat traveling shot in their 1987 film, Raising Arizona, where we see the lone biker of the apocalypse show up, blow up a rabbit, and then his POV zooms down a road, over a car, and then up a ladder. Now, Raimi apparently did a lot of these shots himself, riding a bike and holding the camera and chasing after Bruce Campbell through the woods. And you can do that, or you can have your cameraman just hold the camera as he chases after your actors. But a lot of what makes these shots so compelling and effective, especially in the context of films like the Evil Dead series, is that the camera subtly, or not so subtly, goes places where an ordinary cameraman couldn't really go. Like I said, through a windshield, busting down doors, or in movies like Terminator 4 or Children of Men, inside, outside, above, and underneath moving helicopters and cars, or as in the case of the Coen brothers film, leaping over a stationary one. Now granted, not everybody that watches these movies is going to go, wait a second, an ordinary cameraman could not leap a stationary car in a single bound, nor could he split apart trees or smash down a cabin door. There must be something tricky going on here. But what will happen is that the shots that have these little tricks in them, if anybody notices, they'll think that they're neat, basically. But what they will do is have a really cool, otherworldly effect on an audience. They work, they're neat, and they're part of what made the Evil Dead series films be so kind of creepy. So how did they do it? How did the Coen brothers, for example, vault their camera up over a stationary car while flying through the air? Well, they probably had $1 million rig crane thing with some kind of mechanized head controlled by a computer on the back. No. But what they did have was a camera, a piece of wood to mount it to, and 2 guys to carry it, one on each end. Now there's a piece of studio equipment called a hi-hat. It's basically a board 12 inches by 12 inches with a tripod head on it. And you can put it on the floor, you can stick it on the roof of a car or on the top of a ladder, and you can use it to get shots that you can't normally get with a dolly or a tripod. We don't have one of those, but we do have is a board and a bolt, the same size thread as the inside of our tripod head, and our tripod head. Now, when you're doing these floaty shots, you have to be careful of 2 things. And the first is exposure. You have to shoot someplace that's got relatively even lighting so that you can lock off your aperture for the length of your shot. And as for focus, what you can do is shoot with a wide enough lens that you get a deep enough depth of field that it'll hopefully keep everything in focus. That is, if you don't want to mess with racking focus in the middle of your move. Now, it's been fun, but if you'll excuse me, I've got this old book that a friend sent to me that he found in a cabin somewhere. It's got runes or something in it, written in blood from dead criminals from the 9th century. I gotta go read them out loud. I'll be right back. Just joking. I'm not actually. I didn't get the evil force. Didn't get me. That was just a joke. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be back early next week with another Film Lab special about Sam Raimi trademark shots. We're going to talk about a thing called the dolly zoom that guys like Hitchcock and Spielberg are also famous for using. So check back then. Have a good weekend. Make sure to check out Drag Me to Hell, because you'll really like it. We can tell already. Bye. Don't fall down. Watch out, there's a pizza crust there.